I play this guitar on stage, like I don't even think about the fact that I'm playing it, because it does feel like somewhat of an extension of me and what I like. And certainly that makes sense given the fact that, you know, PRS and I designed it together. And I think that's sort of the ultimate sort of pipe dream when it comes to what I'm looking for in guitars. At some point, it just starts to feel like this natural connection to your hands where there's just no extra thought involved. For me, this is home in every respect. The idea for a 7-string version of the SE was, at least on a personal level, something that made sense from day zero, because I feel like we nailed the 6-string from the very beginning. But we were prototyping the SE 7-string, I want to say back from like late 2017 or early 2018, and Rich at PRS handed it off to me at a festival. I'll always remember like the thought, it was like, oh my God, this is the best 7-string I've ever played. Right from the very beginning, I figured the best way to provide feedback was to just abuse the daylight out of it live. Like take it on tour, put it through its paces for an hour a night or more if we're headlining, like see how it reacts under duress, you know, covered in sweat, put through our rig and use it during clinics, you know, put it through real amps in that context. And that was my main 7-string on stage for years after that. And I go for these guitars because I don't have to think about what I'm playing. So the main additions and new features for the latest model is obviously brand new color. Kind of has the same spirit in mind with the original Holcomb Burst. This is technically, it's the Holcomb Blue Burst is what we're calling it. And I want it to look stealthy and kind of aggressive looking and metal, so to speak, since that's kind of what I like as far as colors go. I would say far and away the most vital difference between this model and previous years is the pickups. That's something that were years in the making with Seymour Duncan and PRS. Conversations with Seymour Duncan about these pickups began several years ago, and it was kind of at the time, coincidentally, that we were having our own internal conversations at PRS about bringing a new signature model to the table. So it's kind of a happy coincidence. And then what it allowed us to do was to basically have fun with like what we can do better. Here in the bass position, we have the Seymour Duncan Scarlet, and in the treble position, we have the Seymour Duncan Scourge. For the Scarlet bass pickup here, the idea for it was just to make it more of a traditional bass pickup. So this is as sort of fat, glassy, classic, warmer tone, you know. One of my favorite features over the years, ever since the very first prototype of the 7, is the coil split feature. You pull up here, move this to the middle position, and it's almost how I play any clean tone part exclusively now. It's just, as soon as a clean part comes up during the Periphery set, switch over the middle, pull up on the coil split. I always know a setting is good on a guitar when I can point back to, you know, moments and be like, wow, that inspired that. Like the song It's Only Smiles on our last record, on Periphery 4, was inspired by this position as well. I wrote that main riff on this exact setting on a 7. So yeah, it's by far my favorite clean tone thing to do. Everything else is kind of the same as it was on the previous 7-string. It's got the 26.5-inch scale length here, which it's the absolute minimum of what we need. But it's not so long to where it feels like you're playing on, you know, hopscotch squares or something like that, you know. 20-inch fretboard radius, nice flat fretboard. That's never going away. It's got a satin neck. That's another feature that we've kept intact. You know, everything on the guitar is exactly what I would have it be on paper. The fact that we were able to combine so many of these features that I find just to be, you know, absolutely essential into a guitar that, you know, is really accessible to people is something I'm super proud of.